This is the AI curriculum generation presented by the Nova One team at AI Camp. My name is Kelly Casson-Scolti. I'm a developer.
And I'm Gabriel Steele. I'm also a developer. And we also have Calvin Large, who unfortunately couldn't make it to the meeting.
So we identified a problem in classrooms where writing curriculum is extremely difficult for teachers. Teachers often face a lot of workload. They have to work before, during, and after their school time, and generally it's a really stressful work for teachers. Also, nowadays, there's many students to a few amount of teachers, and really teaching just hasn't been personalized enough. Finally, the issue with substitute teachers, whenever a teacher may be sick, is that substitute teachers often don't understand the curriculum that needs to be taught. Now, if we were to just go and use something like ChatGPT for curriculum, we would immediately run into another problem. Normal generative AIs aren't really that good teachers. They're unstructured, forgetful, uninstructive, and yet they also hallucinate a lot, which isn't a good thing if you're trying to teach topics to students. You can't teach something like, say, wrong math. So the product that we developed is a tool that works with the larger Nova bot for currently it's in Discord. So the Nova One website that we created is a tool that generates instruction and curriculum that the Nova bot can read off of to teach students and run through curriculum with students. The Nova bot requires a lot of info for teaching curriculums. So using the Nova One website tool that we created, you're able to use natural language processing to directly get output, edit that output how you would like, and then send it off as a JSON file for the Nova bot. So the technology that we used is actually pretty simple. For the language model and I guess the backend of our website, we used ChatGPT 3.5 using the OpenAI API and also LangChain for some better natural language processing. For the front end, or our website, we used a Flask-based Python website that we developed in Replit. And additionally, we used Pydantic just for some JSON parsing to get our output from the AI as a usable format for the NovaBot on Discord. Here you can see the success statistics that we were able to generate using Nova One. In our sort of research, we found out that typically education plans that have built-in exercises return better comprehension on the report of students and also eventually better student performance. Here you can see the first iteration, second iteration, and finally the third iteration, where here in the third iteration, you can see even on the little English bar there, it gets up to about 50% of each step having an exercise to go with it. So thank you for being here for the presentation, and now we're going to move on to an actual demo of Nova One by Gabriel.
So I will be taking you all through a demonstration of our product. So to use our product, we have this website and it jumps right into the content because we figure this will kind of be just one subsection of future clients using Nova. And so they're immediately given this place where they can just enter any topic for a class. And so one topic we were asked to test was prompt engineering. So you could add the topic best practices for prompt engineering. And you can be as specific or as unspecific as you want in here. So you could add extra details about how the class should be taught, but you can also just be super general and keep it simple. And then you can specify, the length that the class should be here with the sections and subsections. And so that just kind of changes whether it should be a short or long lesson. And finally, if you want this lesson to not just be based off of kind of what ChatGPT knows intrinsically from online, but on specific sources, you can also go to a website like Google's website here, which has tips for prompt engineering. And you can copy the link and then put it here, and then it will scrape the information off of the website and include it in its curriculum. And so you'd hit generate. I've pre-generated all of these just to save on time. And you can see right here, it's generated this kind of human and readable outline of the lesson plan that you can look through. And so this is kind of the first step, just to make sure, everything here is good. You can read these and make sure everything's to your liking. And you might notice here, section 6 is about chain of thought prompting, which was actually on the source we gave it. Chain of thought prompting was one of the tips. So it is reading off of that web page to generate its curriculum. And then you can also make natural language suggestions to edit this if you're not happy with it. For example, I wanted to add a 7th section for like a final project to test the students. And so I asked it, hey, can you add a 7th section with a final project? And it generated this. And then, reading through this, you will be given a specific prompt and task with designing and implementing an AI model. That's kind of putting it on the Nova bot to, generate the project. So I wanted this to generate the project. So I told it, hey, be more specific. And so it generated this and said, so you'll be given a specific prompt related to a chatbot for customer service. And so then, I was happy with that. You click this and it generates this final curriculum, which is this list of steps. And this is what is actually given to Nova. And so these are kind of the prompts that the Nova bot will follow when it is teaching a course. And you can also make changes to this. So, I noticed kind of has this introduction to what prompt engineering was. And I want to include something about like an example of how it could be used in the real world. And, we can be a little meta. And so we can, add step 2 where it explains that AI can be used to make an AI teacher. Make Nova explain that prompt engineering can be used to make Nova. That's kind of fun. And so there it goes. It added a step 2, introduced the concept that prompt engineering can be used to create AI teachers, which can provide educational content and assistance to users. And then finally, when you're done and ready for your thing to be passed on to Nova, you can click this, downloading it as a JSON, and you'll get a file like this. And this is what can actually be uploaded to Nova to start creating classes based on the topic that you created. And so here we have this JSON, and it not only has the prompts that it generated originally, but it also has some extra information here, including like the time it expects for each lesson to take, and also like questions it can ask the students and possible answers the students may respond with, so that the Nova bot can create a better experience for the student. And so you can actually see here, you may have seen the Nova bot used on Discord before. And so we were given a branch of that to edit with this prompt that we generated here. And so you can actually see that it's teaching prompt engineering. Howdy, I'm a teaching assistant designed to help you learn better. Today we'll be covering the basics of prompt engineering. If you remember, I wanted to add that second step about explaining that it can be used to make AI teachers. And that's right here. Guess what? Prompt engineering just isn't for creating chatbots like me. It can be used to build AI teachers. And so it's kind of following that list of steps that's given it. And then here it's generating exercises, which was one of our success statistics. And here is another one here, because that creates kind of an interactive experience for the student, so that it's not just, a bot monologuing at you about a topic. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Have you guys like take what's generated, make it simple or not, and then actually create a course and test it and go through it? Have you guys like tried that?
We only got access to the Nova bot pretty recently, and so what you see here has basically been all we've been able to do with the bot. We haven't been able to test it with other people yet.
Got it. Okay. But like it seems like in a very short amount of time you designed a like a process, like a framework, for people to generate these lessons, right? And hopefully, by going through this process, we can. I mean, eventually, the ideal kind of stage is for educators or anyone to upload a bag of materials, and then a pretty interesting course will be generated, and people can take it, take it through. So I'm pretty sure in that process, a lot of these fine tuning or adjustments of the processes or prompts that needs to be done in order for this to become or engaging course, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. But cool. Yeah. It's thanks for establishing the framework.
Yeah, of course.
Is that it? That's
Yes.
everything?
Is that it?
Unless there's any other questions, yeah, that would wrap up our presentation.
Let's
I
give this
heard
to-
that Nova is going to be part of AI Camp. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. Who's asking this question?
Me.
Oh, Lucas. Oh, yeah. Like, correct. So, so we're basically, we need Nova itself. When we were teaching things in the summer, or even just like the GI, we wish we have Nova with us. Imagine whether it's like Python or Django or Git, right? Nova can essentially just like teach you through. We would be like, hey, everybody, let's go through the Git. Just go through this Nova course. You'd be able to understand what is Git, GitHub, what is Git, how does it invent it, what is Git checkout, what is Git add, what is a Git commit, right? And so they can use it, right? And just point out this hands-on kind of like way of learning it, so yeah, a short story is it is a part of the AI camp, but it's likely it's going to belong to the world and not to AI camp. So we plan to actually incorporate more people, whether it's like developing this together with us or use it outside AI camp. Yeah, but let us know if you have ideas. We're actively seeking potential customers, and we can collaborate on this. Yeah.